The basketball tournament returns to Lexington, Kentucky, where inside historic Memorial Coliseum, one team's $1 million dream will stay alive tonight. It's the 4-5 matchup to get us rolling in the nightcap. War Ready and Auburn alumni team squares off against X-Rayted in the $1 million winner-take-all summer tradition. You know about the bracket and what it means to TBT. Here's a look at a portion of it, not only the Lexington Regional, but the Louisville Regional, which will tip off down the road tomorrow. Two teams in Lexington have already advanced to the second round. Either War Ready or X-Rayted will join them, and La Familia, the Kentucky alumni squad, will tip off in the nightcap later tonight. Welcome courtside, everybody. It's great to have you with us. Robbie Hummel, Chris Vosters, Jen Hale as well is with us on sideline. This has become a summer tradition now. What do you love about covering this tournament?
Well, so often when you think about pro basketball, our focus goes to the NBA, but there's so many good players out there that played great in college, that are overseas, and this is their chance to shine. You mix that in with the Elam Ending, and every season here, Chris, TBT always delivers.
Auburn collectively as a program has really shown over the last 10 years under Bruce Pearl, and their War Ready alumni team has got some standouts from the Bruce Pearl era.
Well, it's been amazing to see what Bruce Pearl has made that Auburn program into, but my eyes certainly go to Wendell Green, a very good player for the Auburn Tigers, but had a terrific season over in Kosovo this last year as a pro, was actually the player of the year in the Kosovo Super League, and it's all about the guards here tonight. As I take my focus over to X-Rayted, New Williams, a player that actually started his career for the Auburn Tigers before transferring to Fresno State, is a big-time bucket getter for this X-Rayted team. He's played professional basketball now for 3 seasons, but just came off a season in the second division of Turkey where he averaged 24 a game. He can really score, plays with a lot of electricity.
First appearance in TBT for X-Rayted, and they're going to try and hang around a little while, but they'll have to get past an Auburn alumni team that has been here before and knows the TBT vibe. We'll introduce starting lineups. Get ready for tip-off when we come back from Lexington. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by Or Health. Or Health, a daily pill to drink less or quit. And Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. From the beautiful green pastures of Lexington, Kentucky, inside Memorial Coliseum, the home of Kentucky women's basketball and volleyball, will get you ready for this TBT showdown between X-Rayted and War Ready. New Williams, Jordan Allen, Jaden Dallaire, Lance Thomas, CJ Geddes, the starters for X-Rated. Wendell Green Jr., Travis McConaughey, Malik Dunbar, LaRon Smith, and Babatunde Akingbola, all former Auburn Tigers. Get ready for War Ready.
Going hot, man. Spread out so you don't jump into each other.
Thomas for X-Rayted takes the tip against Akingbola of War Ready. It's won by X-Rayted in black with yellow numbers, and we are underway. These games move fast for 9-minute quarters. It is win or go home. Win and keep your $1 million dream alive. Three-pointer off the mark for Jaden Dallaire.
Chris, early on, it's always so interesting to see just how connected these teams are together on both ends of the floor. You think about it, not much time to practice together. So on the offensive end, what sets are you running? Defensively, how can you be together and pick and roll?
Many of these war-ready Auburn alumni players, if they didn't play together at the University of Auburn, they certainly share an alma mater, so there's connectivity there, but both teams 0 for 1 to start.
And there's a good defensive possession there by X-Rayted. You got a hard hedge, you're taking out that pick and roll, but the help side defense is there, and you force a contested mid-range jumper.
This is Geddes, who is stripped by LaRon Smith, and it's picked up by McConaughey.
A lot of times in this event, defense can lead to offense. Your defense gets a steal, and you're off to the races. What a block right there by Lance Thomas.
All defense, no offense to start. Malik Dunbar unable to change that.
Usually in an event like the TBT, that is not the case. Usually I feel like the defense is way behind the offense, but early on, defense is getting stops.
Runner in and out for Jordan Allen, and McConaughey slips it to Wendell Green Jr. We mentioned this is an Auburn alumni team on the floor, but one of the players wearing black and gold, New Williams, also played for Auburn. That's an interesting storyline to monitor.
I saw New Williams a couple years ago at 3x3U at the Final Four, and man, the electricity that he plays with as an athlete, as a scorer, and certainly he showed that in the second division of Turkey this last year.
Williams off the mark, number 26 in black, and let's visit with Jen Hale for the first time tonight. She can add more on New.
Yeah, Chris, you were talking about how he played for Auburn in college, but now he's suiting up for X-Rated. That's because he still harbors dreams of going pro, and he wanted to stay in LA where X-Rated is based so he could train to participate, hopefully, with the Lakers in some sort of summer camp or G League team. So this guy is grinding. He's trying to be everywhere at once. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight.
Sure will, Jen. Thanks. And as you see, Williams played the one season for Auburn, 2015-16, but home is in Southern California. That's where X-Rated is based, and so that's why he chose this team for TBT. How about a bucket, Robbie? What do you say?
Please. It's been a struggle here to score early on.
That struggle continues. McConaughey's pass is kicked out of bounds by Jaden Dallaire.
Well, if Dallaire doesn't get a foot on that, that was going to be a basket. And that's what I was talking about. Those turnovers, live ball turnovers, are something that you just can't have in an event like TBT. You're just giving away points. And right there, X-Rated a little bit lucky they didn't get burned.
Green guarded by Williams from the elbow. There we go.
He's not going to be bashful. Wendell Green certainly with a reputation as a scorer, although he did average 5 assists this last season in Kosovo. And here's Auburn, or we're ready, going a little bit of zone action here.
All the way over to New Williams. Dallaire, baseline, short. Geddes keeps the play alive for X-Rated and drops it in.
You saw it earlier in the games this morning here, Chris. Second chance opportunities. It's C.J. Geddes there just keeping that play alive and staying in the play.
Wendell Green lets it fly. In and out. X-Rated making its TBT debut. War Ready playing in its 8th TBT. There's been an Auburn alumni team in the tournament for a long time. Geddes, not enough touch on the layup.
He didn't get it to go, but that fake dribble handoff just totally cleared the lane for him. That's one that Geddes is going to want to have back because it was a good drive.
Mouse in the house. Wendell Green Jr. backing down New Williams. It's out of bounds. Stays with War Ready.
Here we go. Good job, Jake. Yeah, thank you. A little bit. Yeah. Make sure you dig it.
When War Ready originally entered TBT, it was before Auburn had even made its first Final Four under Bruce Pearl back in 2019. Then they got some players from the 2019 Final Four team, and it's continued to evolve now with players from the 2020s. Wild pass there. X-Rated takes it away.
Well, think about just how Auburn's basketball program has changed under Bruce Pearl. And there's that steal, that quickness by Wendell Green showing itself. When Bruce Pearl took over, Auburn's certainly a program that would every once in a while make the NCAA tournament, but now a team that competes for championships. And we saw that at this year's Final Four in a loaded field.
And watching Auburn basketball on TV almost became appointment television. You wanted to see the atmosphere at Neville Arena this year.
Well, that's come a long way. The way that they've built that up is certainly something that Bruce Pearl should be very proud of. There's War Ready getting on the board. How about Jaheim Hudson, a guy that he's just a rookie professionally, was on the Auburn team last year. Well, pick and pop, and he locks it down.
X-Rated down 5. Here's Geddes. Line drive 3 is short. McConaughey's got it. And we should re-emphasize that Jaheim Hudson, number 10 for War Ready, was on the Auburn roster this year, as in the team that most recently went to the Final Four, in and out on his last try.
Early on, he's playing with some confidence. You can see with his size, that handle on display. He shook C.J. Geddes and got a good look. There's a block right there.
Akingbola rejects Allen. Media timeouts at under 4 minutes in each quarter, so we will step aside. War Ready off to a 7-2 lead against X-Rated. First round TBT coverage underway in Kentucky. TBT is now in its 12th year, but if you're watching us for the first time, this is a $1 million winner-take-all tournament, and every game finishes with a made bucket. It's called the Elam Ending. It's a TBT original. 61 teams in the field this year, spread out across 8 regions, one in Lexington, another in Louisville. And the defending champion, an Ohio State alumni team, Carmen's Crew. There is an impressive track record of college alumni teams doing well at this tournament. War Ready trying to add its name to that list.
Chris, the thing that I love about the Elam Ending is it brings in what I think is the best asset of tennis, where you have to win the game. You can't just run the clock out. You can't just count on going to the foul line. You actually have to win and score points. And so many a times we see these games, they just become foul fest at the end. That's not the case in TBT.
Here's Jalen Johnson with 3 on the shot clock for X-Rated. Everything but the finish.
Yeah, Jaheim Hudson at the basket there on that one.
New Williams almost with a takeaway. Travis McConaughey hangs onto it. War Ready ball. Looks like he got hit in the face.
And so far, the victories have gone to the defense. These two teams have combined to go 4 of 21 from the field to start. There's been some good defense, but there's also just been some cold shooting.
War Ready at least started 0 for 6, but has gone 3 of 5 since. Jamaru Brown on the ball, trying to keep that trend going. Rainbow 3 rattles in.
Well, X-Rated just got lost, and you see right there Josh Higgins having an animated conversation with his teammate. A little miscommunication, and And you had a guy come into the game, Jamaru Brown. He just pops right in here. You can see everybody runs away from him. He is wide open from the three-point line.
8 straight for War Ready, and Brown did not play collegiately for Auburn, but actually played in this state at Eastern Kentucky, which is only about a 35-minute drive from here in Lexington.
He can score in all 5 of his college seasons. He was in double figures, averaged almost 17 a game this last year playing pro basketball in Syria. You see just these rosters, and you see all the countries that guys play in. It is all over the world.
That's not an exaggeration, all over the world. Here's Zahir Porter. He lobs it into Wildens Levesque, and Levesque got cracked by McConaughey.
Levesque did a nice job of recognizing that he had a matchup with a smaller player. He's pushing him up the lane. McConaughey a little bit late coming over. It looked like he swiped him across the face. Good pass there. Oh, it looked like actually a lot of ball on the replay.
X-rated ball. Just 1 field goal so far tonight. Jalen Johnson blocked by Akingbola, who took the opening tip for War Ready and has brought a lot of juice.
Well, that's defensively the second time that he's made an impact there. Has terrific length, but look at where he's at. Perfect help side position. He's coming over, he's staying down, he's walling up. That is textbook defense inside that paint.
Textbook inbounds play finds New Williams for 3.
Boy, keep an eye on him. I am telling you, Chris, the electricity that he's got, he is a big-time scorer, and once he sees one go down, very dangerous from that perimeter.
Do you have him at 6'2"?
That's generous, probably.
That's generous, is right.
But he can play above the rim. Really good athlete as well.
Brown unable to finish, but Hudson saves the play. And a weak bounce pass nearly taken by New Williams. And then a collision. Terrell Smith goes into the X-rated bench.
Yep. It's really wet here. Good job, fellas.
Looks like Terrell Smith kind of got taken out by an X-rated player there, but it's going to end up being X-rated basketball. A loose ball here on the floor. Some carnage over there, but I suppose Terrell Smith may have stepped on that line before he got cow-tipped.
It's an awkward fall for New Williams as well. There's a look at Jeff DeSato, the head coach for X-Rated. This is a first-year TBT franchise founded by Dr. Philip McDonald, a sports medicine doctor who goes by Dr. X. He's appeared on Wildens Levesque highlight tape now. First thunderclap of this game from Levesque is X-rated coming to life here. Hudson for 3, short.
War Ready went to that trapping defense, and they might just stay away from it with the way that X-rated broke it right there. There's that zone defense, that pressure. You throw one pass, and Wildens Levesque is hanging on rims. He goes up there and just tears it off.
Levesque racked up his college career just a couple seasons ago now at Texas A&M. Williams way strong.
That was a quick one there. Already keeping that net down on the side right there. And New Williams wanted to just shoot right over the top of it.
Another quick one in kind for War Ready. Hudson cuts off the driving Zahir Porter. Jalen Johnson into the corner for Porter. Brown running the point for War Ready since coming in off the bench. He blows by Levesque.
Well, that was a beautiful take right there. Defense is in that drop off the ball screen, and Jamaru Brown, little in and out. You freeze that big, and he is just off to the races to the rim.
Brown with 5 off the bench. Porter misses again, and Malik Dunbar, the lone holdover on this War Ready roster from the 2019 Final Four team.
Oh, that's over back.
That was a fastball coming our way.
And we've started to see some quick shots here, some quick offense, and that's something that you just have to try to stay out of. Certainly if there's a hot hand, you want to ride that, but early on, both teams a little bit cold. Move that ball from side to side, get some multiple action possessions. But we've seen a lot of individual isolation here in this first quarter.
These teams come together weeks, sometimes days before TBT. You got to hit the ground running, but instant chemistry is tough. New Williams for three against his former team, if you will, War Ready.
How about the pass, though, from Josh Hagens? That is so good. Just driving that lane line. Help comes over and spraying it to the opposite corner.
Brown step back, way strong. Williams corrals it. Threads it up to Zahir Porter. He was trying to get the shot off before the quarter ended.
He fumbled that right in.
But too late, unfortunately. Heck of an effort, but this three by New Williams counted.
Well, that's what New Williams does. He is going to look to get these shots up from the perimeter. It's all about dribble penetrations. You got Hagens getting downhill. That's a terrific pass to the corner. New Williams doing what he does, spraying it early. X-Rayted trying to get back in this thing.
Baseball night in America on Fox tomorrow. The Red Sox take on rising star Pete Crow Armstrong and the Cubs, or the Cardinals battle the Diamondbacks. Check local listings for the game in your area tomorrow at 7 Eastern on Fox. We get ready to begin quarter number 2 between War Ready and X-Rated. First round of TBT. Mark Hughes has been here before. He was the head coach of Overseas Elite for 3 years. At the end of the Overseas Elite dynasty, it's a TBT team that won this tournament 4 straight years. So Hughes knows what it takes to get a team through this 6-game gauntlet.
I was in training camp with the Denver Nuggets with DJ Kennedy, and the career that he had professionally, phenomenal, but just the job that he did in the TBT. I mean, he, to me, is the best player in the history of this event, with the longevity, with the titles won, and certainly there's some other players you could make a case for, Chris, but, man, it'd be hard to knock off DJ.
Jen, you got a little bit more you'd like to add?
Yeah, Chris, talking to Mark Hughes before this game tipped, just reminiscing about years past in TBT. He's been here in some capacity since the very start. He pulled up his computer, flipped it open for me, 11 years of notes on all the various teams he's coached and been with. So a plethora of experience that's really paying off for this War Ready team right now.
Wow, he's become a TBT historian along the way, it sounds like.
That's his first and the team's first.
And trying to guard and guide War Ready into the second round. Foul on C.J. Geddes a moment ago for X-Rated. They did close the first quarter on an 8-2 run. Still trailed by 2, War Ready ball. Xavier Brewer's got it. Underhand to Wendell Green Jr., Robbie's player to watch at the start of this game. Nice wiggle. The pass to LaRon Smith.
And that's exactly why. You got to worry about him as a three-point shooter, but certainly Wendell Green has that burst to get by you. That help comes over. It's not for him, but he's creating for his big fella.
Lance Thomas, tough J.
This is interesting, too, where you start to see guys. Lance Thomas in 4 years of college basketball averaged 3 points a game. But right there, kind of showing more of his skills. Averaged almost 10 a game in Mexico this last year.
Wendell Green Jr. just averaged a lot wherever, whenever.
You're going to have to keep him out of that painted area. Easier said than done.
He's got 6 and a foul called on Wendell Green Jr.
That was on Green. That's his first and the team's second.
That's his first. Wendell Green Jr. from Detroit, playing in his second TBT. Transferred to Auburn after beginning his college career at Eastern Kentucky. Another Eastern Kentucky mention from here in Lexington. That's Jordan Allen off the mark, and the rebound saved by Gillette of X-Rated. Allen gets it back from Thomas, and he's 0 for 2 on this try. Malik Dunbar with it. Jamaru Brown Euro steps from the baseline and draws the foul. A bit of a late whistle on Nico Gillette.
That was a heck of a move. I mean, he was cut off on that baseline, and that Euro step just avoids that defender and earns him a trip to the foul line. I like the way that War Ready, when they've gotten stops, they've looked to push the ball. Man, he left Gillette in the dust right there. That's a big-time move.
We mentioned that this is the 8th year that War Ready or some form of it has been in TBT. They've been a fully fledged Auburn alumni team since 2021. Took this program a little bit to get on track. They didn't win their first TBT game until 2022, but have slowly been trying to inch their way further in this thing every year. I think last year they went to the second round and lost to Herd that in Marshall alumni team.
I think, Chris, it's fair to say that there's a learning curve. As you bring a team in here, do you have training camp? Do you meet in Lexington for an event like this? Do you meet back in your home city? There's just so many things that go into it. Aside from the raising money and getting players standpoint, how do you become competitively a good organization in this event?
Turning into a relay race with all the sprinting back and forth there.
You could call it that.
Here's the TBT history for War Ready. So getting into the second round last year, a step in the right direction after a small setback in 2023.
Well, no shame in losing to Herd that. I mean, that's become, you could say, one of the upper echelon TBT teams. They've had great players with the Elmore brothers and won a lot of games.
They're in the field this year as well. Dunbar thought about pulling the trigger. Guarded by Nico Gillette.
Really good defense right there. Gillette just moving his feet. So far, X-Rated defense has really been on the same page.
Geddes into the corner for Lance Thomas. Yes.
There's Lance Thomas again. I mean, I said it a couple minutes ago where he just wasn't much of an offensive factor, but there, that roll and spray out there, the help defense is in. Lance Thomas showing some real improvement from college to pro ball.
Playing the long game, or a late bloomer, stays with War Ready, jarred free from Wendell Green Jr.
X-Rated number 5, Jalen Johnson.
X-Rated has not been afraid on these ball screens at times to jump out and show real pressure to these guards. That's another trap that made Wendell Green so uncomfortable there.
Along with number 10, Jalen Johnson.
X-Rated has some size.
I think they can throw it at you in waves. I mean, between Levesque and then you've also got Lance Thomas, Daniel Achefu, we haven't seen yet. He is here on the roster. Didn't play pro basketball last year, but he's a guy that brings a lot of size as well.
Good, Jay.
Antoine Mason has checked into the game for the first time for War Ready. Less than 5 on the shot clock. Now 2 for Wendell Green. Short.
Good, Jay.
Rebound tip to Jaheim Hudson.
We're good. Save it. Length. Jalen. Good.
Hudson working on Thomas and brings it back out to Mason.
Get up, Jay.
After Allen falls down, Mason lost the handle on the way up, but a foul is called.
Well done by Antoine Mason there of recognizing the defense had gone down. You've got Jordan Allen on the floor, so now you got to go right to the rim and put the pressure on the defense. There's that hard trap. Now you got the advantage to the offense. Honestly, all X-Rated could do there is take a foul and send Antoine Mason to the line.
Mason 0 for 1 at the free throw line now. You mentioned how this Auburn program is completely changed under Bruce Pearl. Mason did his redshirt senior season at Auburn in Bruce Pearl's first year as head coach there.
He really scored it the year before at Niagara. An average 26 a game.
Allen throws it up in the direction of Gillette. Knocking Bola has it, and now Mason. Mason with the left hand.
Well, if nobody's going to stop you, there's no need to give it up. That's a really smart play there. Antoine Mason a scorer, but the transition defense not good enough. War Ready going on a little run. Their defense creating some offense.
And a wet spot on the court in front of the War Ready bench. Winner of this game moves on to the second round of the Lexington Regional, which will be played on Sunday. And the winner of this game could very well play the Kentucky alumni team, La Familia, who takes the court shortly after this game ends. And there's already more and more blue starting to trickle in to Memorial Coliseum. This is a stubborn spot.
I was going to say, they must have had a lot of water over there.
Wide touch.
Here we go, guys.
Our officials in this game, Orlandis Poole, James Hicks, and Ed Crenshaw. Williams' his pass blocked by Mason, and he takes it away.
Antoine Mason has had a terrific second quarter on both ends. That's a foul.
It is on Josh Hagans.
Mason's certainly known more for his scoring leading into his Auburn career, but right there, just locking up, using his size against the smaller New Williams and forcing that turnover.
Fourth foul on X-Rated, so they're one away from the bonus. Bonus free throws are 2 automatically, not a 1-and-1. Wendell Green Jr. trying to sell that, and he does draw the foul. So he's going to the free throw line after Nico Gillette picks up his second.
Gillette's got to know better. I mean, you start reaching in like that. Wendell Green, that's played pro basketball for the last 2 years, learned some tricks of the trade, but you just can't take a foul like that. You've got him in the coffin corner. You just contest the shot, and if he makes it over the top of you, you live with it.
Pistol over here. Pistol. No. Jay, you go with
Green is still only 22 years old. Second team All-SEC in 2023 with the Tigers. And had a great TBT debut last year, but trying to find it at the free throw line. However, called a line violation there. And Green's going to get another crack.
Or was that just the second shot?
Was it a 3? Was he fouled?
I think he was in the corner shooting a 3.
Thank you. He was fouled in the act of a 3. So there, he gets his third free throw to go. Gillette playing with 2 fouls. He gets 6. Jalen Johnson. Hagan swings it to Williams. Got it over Akingbola, but it wasn't accurate.
How about Antoine Mason, though? Again, fighting down low. He got switched onto a bigger player and totally dug that thing out.
Green thought wiser than to try and get that over Lance Thomas at 6'9". Dunbar turns and hits.
Boy, it's as simple as just taking your time, understanding you've got a mismatch down there with the smaller Josh Higgins, and the lone player from Bruce Pearl's Final Four team in 2019, Malik Dunbar, getting it done in that post.
Jalen Johnson.
What a pass.
To Nico Gillette. New Williams with an offensive rebound. Couldn't finish.
Boy, 3 opportunities right there at the rim, and they come up empty-handed.
Out of bounds. Foul not called. It stays with War Ready. Timeout on the floor. War Ready 23, X-Rated 15. You're watching the basketball tournament, the $1 million winner-take-all tournament from Lexington, Kentucky.
Turnovers that lead to scores.
Offensively, just be ready to shoot, be ready to shoot with confidence, maintain the spacing.
Yep.
Don't use the aggressiveness, just don't dance with it, just go down the hill. We get some good shots, we just need to finish them.
Yep.
I feel like we could just kind of go more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go.
Yeah. They're not playing no defense.
Defensively, right? Defensively, we're okay, right? If you're going to shoot fadeaway jumpers on, like, that's not going to beat us. What's going to beat us is us not taking care of the basketball, right? And offensively, stop being cute with it. Just have confidence. Just play with it. Go score it. Catch it and shoot it. Don't try and do the extra. Like, if all it needs is one move and go to the hoop, go right to the hoop. All right?
I got to start pump faking their ass more.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay, right? And we're not playing great out here, and it's a 8-point game.
This is good
Right?
as they get, bro. Good as they get.
Right? They've given us the best that they got, and they're hitting some tough-ass shots. As long as we keep getting stops over here, getting good ones down there, and taking care of it, we're in good shape. All right? Let's go wide touch here. Obviously, you coming into your left hand. Let's have you, Josh, you in the action. Obviously, you go. Actually, hold on. Yeah, okay, you're good with it? All right, so new. Yeah. Let's come off, Josh. Start low instead of coming high. Jalen, new here, and then what do we got? Oh, no, Will, I'm sorry. Will, let's put you in the corner, Jalen. And Jaden.
If they got me denied, I'm going to just go.
Will.
Just go.
Will, so go get him, come off, touch it up. But if they're gonna play high, we're okay, right? And we're not playing great out here, and it's a 8-point game.
This is good
Right?
as they get, bro. Good as they get.
Right? They've given us the best that they got, and they're hitting some tough-ass shots. As long as we keep getting stops over here, getting good ones down there, and taking care of it, we're in good shape. All right? Let's go wide touch here. Obviously, you coming into your left hand. Let's have you, Josh, you in the action. Obviously, you go. Actually, hold on. Yeah, okay, you're good with it? All right, so new.
X-Rated down by 8 moments ago. We took a listen into the huddle of head coach Jeff Tasato. This is in the huddle powered by Puma.
Okay.
Jeff Tasato
I thought all three were
was an
across.
assistant for the Taiwan Beer Leopards, who won the league in 2024, 2 seasons ago now. Dunbar short for War Ready. X-Rated back the other way. Jalen Johnson open. And X-Rated shooting under 25% for the game.
Both teams 15 of 52. I think War Ready would probably disagree with Jeff Desato's assumption that that was their best, because neither team right now is lighting it up on that end of the floor.
New Williams with a pocket pass to Wildens Levesque.
Blake Dunbar had fallen down, and X-Rated able to take advantage. Nice find there from New Williams down to Levesque.
Romani Hansen is checked into the game for the first time for War Ready, number 27. Wendell Green Jr. slips by Dallaire but couldn't finish the play. Now Johnson runs the floor, Euro step, and he finishes.
How about the big fella right there? Jalen Johnson showing it off. That little Euro step, avoid the defender. Get a little bit lucky. Wendell Green had blown by his defender, but you get the miss and you get out and you run and find an easy basket.
Dunbar stripped, picked up by Johnson. The big man runs the floor again. Dallaire fouled by Antoine Mason.
On those last two possessions, X-Rated's defense has started their offense. You got some words here between these two teams. Referees separating some players, but this is a hard foul. Boy, they're going to probably take a look at that. And you got Jaden Dallaire getting just smoked across the forehead by Antoine Mason.
That was on Mason. That was his first.
And always think about in these situations, is the contact excessive? Is it unnecessary? A lot of the times when you see the contact to the head, they'll upgrade that to a flagrant foul.
What? All right. We're going to look at it for
Antoine Mason pleading his case
Let's look at it.
to the X-rated bench, in fact, more than even the officials. X-rated thinks there was clear contact above the shoulder.
There's no doubt that it's contact to the head, but it would more so be, does it feel like there's some unnecessary or even maybe intent? Like, does he try to make a play on the ball here? He's trying to swipe it. Antoine Mason totally whiffs on the ball and just gets him right to that face. By the college definition, you could probably argue that there is excessive contact there.
We've got an explanation coming. Good, thank you.
Yeah.
You just heard from Ed Crenshaw.
He said essentially that the criteria is the same as college. Is it excessive? Is it unnecessary?
Yep, I'll let him know. Okay.
Yeah. Upgraded to an F1. Hit on the head. Upgraded to an F1. 2 shots. Yeah.
And you just heard James Hicks
F1. 2 shots.
explaining to the scorers table that it has been upgraded to an F1.
And we were told that it was upgraded because of the excessive nature of the blow to the head.
So now War Ready getting the explanation.
Listen, but let me tell you, but by rule, above the head, by rule.
Can I say this?
And I don't think that he was trying to do it intentional, but by rule. You know, by rule, yeah, yeah.
Can I say this?
Yes, sir.
When we try to take the ball out and get out and go, they lay the ball up and hit the ball on purpose.
Watch for it. I'll watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch for it. I'll watch for it.
Well done by Mark Hughes to parlay that into
I was
another conversation
yeah.
he wanted to have.
He was ready to concede that battle and start a new
All right,
one.
flagrant, but I got something else to tell you.
In the
on the layup, a hit on the head.
midst of all that, Jaden Dallaire went 1 for 2 at the free throw line.
That's pretty much par for the way the offense has gone here in the first half.
And yet they're only down 3. Here's Dallaire with it again.
It's really been both teams here that have struggled offensively.
Johnson met by Hansen, and Hansen reaches in and commits the foul.
The foul is on Hansen. That's his first and the team's third.
1:42 to go until halftime, and remember, midway through the fourth quarter, we'll turn off the game clock and play to a target score to determine the winner of this. It's TBT's Elam Ending. Johnson for 3. Good.
There was just confusion from War Ready there. A little dribble handoff action and that just not clear or concise on their switches. That leaves Jalen Johnson all by himself.
Jamaru Brown pulls up. And it stays with War Ready. Good hustle play underneath by Jaheim Hudson.
That out of bounds play. You just got a little dribble handoff. It's a pick and pop. War Ready just not handling it. And Jalen Johnson letting you know about it.
8-0 run to tie it up for X-Rated.
Good switching defense there by X-Rated. A little bit behind, but they switched it all and got right back into play, and they get a fingertip on that shot.
That was Levesque. Hansen, a wild shot. Great defense by X-Rated. Higgins into the lane. Alley-oop. Levesque just left his feet a little too soon. It bounces off Dallaire, and McConaughey's got it. He heads upstream. Mason, too strong off glass. Hudson saves it again. Brown inside, blocked again. Johnson or Levesque.
How about X-Rated's defense? Just staying in these plays. Even when they've been beat, they've communicated, they've played hard, they've switched it out, and they've made plays on the ball.
And then a foul call is going to give Jalen Johnson some free throws. That's on Romani Hansen. Number 2 on Hansen.
Levesque at the line for 2.
And beg your pardon, it's Levesque at the free throw line for X-Rated. Levesque, the 25-year-old, with 5 points, has just given X-Rated its first lead of the game with 27 seconds to go in the half.
Do you feel like Wildens Levesque has built some toughness over his college career and playing for Frank Martin and Buzz Williams?
Yeah.
I feel like you played for those two guys.
I mean,
There is no choice. There's no choice but to be tough.
He followed Frank Martin in South Carolina to
UMass.
UMass, so there's no way he would have done that if he didn't like the style.
He looks lean and mean, though. He looks like he's really gotten into shape.
10 seconds to go in the half, and after another war-ready miss, X-Rated can pad its lead. Here he is, Levesque! Lost the handle going up, but he's going back to the charity stripe.
War-ready wanted to be aggressive with that ball screen. They bring a high trap, but the problem with that is their help defense is nowhere to be found.
Let's go, man.
Higgins with a great pocket pass, and look at the lane right there.
Right.
Levesque, so much space. You have to take a foul, otherwise that's going to be a dunk.
The rim should thank Travis McConaughey for that foul, because Levesque was
going to punish it.
He was going to do damage. A friendly roll there.
The X-Rated's defense, especially to end this first half, has stepped up. They've gotten stops. It's allowed them to get out and run a little bit. It's really jump-started their offense and sent them on this run to take this lead.
Seven for Levesque. Wendell Green Jr. with 2. Less than 1.
Whoa.
And a hard collision between Jaden Dallaire and Wendell Green Jr. X-Rated closes the half on a 12-0 run over the final 2:42 and leads the Auburn alumni team at the break, 27-23. Before we send it to break, let's check in with Jen Hale, who's standing by with X-Rated's head coach, Jeff DeSoto.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, so much. Coach, what allowed you to finally grab a lead? Just 26 seconds left in the half, and you managed to pull ahead.
Well, just our ability to deal with adversity. The guys really came together and just weathered the storm a little bit. Obviously, this is a bunch of guys that we put together not too long ago and just getting to know one another. And the biggest message in the locker room was how we deal with adversity. And the guys answered the call. I thought we played tough. I thought we stood hard on our principles. So that's the result, and hoping we can close that out in the second half.
Robbie Hummel giving your defense a lot of credit for sparking your offense and allowing you to go on that run. What have you liked best about your defense?
Just our ability to communicate. Obviously they have a really, really good point guard in Wendell Green Jr. and basically showing bodies in front of them. You know what I mean? When good players like that get going, they see a lot of space, they take advantage of it. So we just got to continue to stay strong and close it out.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Chris?
Thank you, Jen. And yes, echoing what Robbie said, X-Rated made some adjustments on the defensive end, and it led to more scoring on the offensive end as well. This is supposed to be one of the most compelling 4-5 matchups in TBT this year, and it is proven to be through one half. X-Rated 27, War Ready 23 at the break in Lexington.
want over there? Sticks or we get lights too or no? We got time.
Fans, as a reminder, the winner of this game will advance on to round 2 of the Lexington Regional right here Sunday, July 20th at 2:30.
Welcome back to Lexington. It's halftime between War Ready, the Auburn alumni team, and X-Rated. We'll be back with first half stats in just a moment. You're watching TBT 2025. Big Blue Nation's coming out in force to watch the Kentucky Alumni team play in TBT later tonight. Ortega always not ready for the Alumni team quite yet, but returning to the Kentucky College team later this year and signing autographs from just around Memorial Coliseum. We'll get to the Kentucky Alumni team a little bit later. For now, we get ready for the second half between War Ready and X-Rated. Robbie Hummel, Chris Foster's Jen Hale. How about the comeback for X-Rated in the second half?
Yeah, it certainly was their defense that set the tone there. Went on a 12-0 run. How about their front court, though? You're looking at Wildens Levesque. You're talking about Lance Thomas and Jalen Johnson. Those guys combined for 18 of their 27 points. In a game where offense has been hard to come by, they have certainly brought it with this front court.
Might not be the best box score to look at, but we'll take a look at the stats either way from the first half. Stats are brought to you by Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. We need less pain in terms of shooting percentages
Please,
in the second half. X-Rated 4 for 13 from deep, just 30% from the floor. War Ready 2 of 9 from deep.
That just means we are due in the second half. Let's see some offense.
Stick around. We are in line for some fireworks. You heard it from Robbie Hummel first. Second half comes your way. First round of TBT from lovely Lexington, Kentucky, the home of Big Blue Nation. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. And by Ethos, life insurance, 100% online. Moments away from the start of the second half. It's the 5-seed X-Rated, the 4-seed war-ready, the Auburn alumni team. For a little bit more as we get ready to start the second half, let's once again check in with Jen Hale.
Yeah, Chris Robbie just got to visit with Mark Hughes on where he thought his team lost that lead in the first half. And he said, you know, it just came down to not closing quarters well. They had a 10-day training camp, 8 days of 2-a-day practices. So he says they're just getting their legs underneath them. He thinks their conditioning will help them succeed this half.
All right, Jen, thanks. Definitely something to look for. Travis McConaughey trying to shake Jaden Dallaire and put it right in the hands of Lance Thomas on the other team.
I'm a little surprised that McConaughey has struggled here. Hasn't scored. Had a really solid season in the Turkish First League this last year. Averaged 9 a game. He's a player, but slow start for him here in that first half.
The first guy out here for his team taking shots about an hour before the game as Wendell Green Jr. ran out of real estate down low. Ball somehow stays in play, and it stays with X-Rated.
X-Rated really fortunate there. Just
not a travel.
Out of control on that fast break.
Williams into Allen. CJ Geddes played college ball at Rutgers.
There he is. Right away,
Thomas. Size advantage on McConaughey, who nearly picked his pocket. Dallaire in trouble. McConaughey really turning up the intensity on the defensive end.
That's one where Dallaire took one too many dribbles. You know, I know the mid-range jumper has kind of been phased out, but he drove that right into the defense. If it's a shot fake and a one-dribble pull-up, he's wide open.
With a teammate right next to him, so there was no spacing.
Not great spacing, that's for sure.
Wendell Green, guarded by a 7-footer for a moment. Slips it inside to Akingbola.
X-Rated's defense again. I mean, there's Lance Thomas. He's that help side defender, but he's just camping in the lane and taking away those pocket passes.
Malik Dunbar for 3. Yes.
But that's the read right there, Chris. Jordan Allen becomes the help side defender with that last pick and roll. They're coming to the middle of the floor. He's going to take on the roller, and that leaves the shooter Dunbar wide open, raising behind.
Dunbar's got 5. He's playing in his 5th TBT.
Good verticality there.
Thomas. Foul is called.
It's a good contest by LaRon Smith, but then you've got to get the block out and secure that defensive rebound. Here's that last pick and roll. It's a great read here by Wendell Green. There you see that help defender in Jordan Allen. He is in. That means it's the right play to spray it for the 3. You got to secure those defensive boards. The initial defense good, but you never close down the possession. X-Rated takes advantage.
14, staying 14.
Lance Thomas misses the free throw.
Let's go, Lance.
With head coach Jeff Tosato looking on. Mentioned Lance Thomas
Come on now.
played his
Here we go.
college career at Memphis. He actually started at Louisville.
Wrong side.
Well, both he and Wildens Lebec have been great examples in this game of guys that didn't have great college careers in terms of scoring. I mean, Lebec only played 3 minutes a game at A&M, and both those guys have been very productive out here.
There's your guy, Travis McConaughey.
He's got to get this thing going. Wendell Green kind of did his thing in the first half, but somebody else has got to come alongside with him.
Tie game, third quarter. Still early. Line drive 3, just a little bit off by Jordan Allen. Green with McConaughey, pull up tray. Short again. Allen hangs with the rebound.
Good shots on both ends. 2 open threes, but nobody cashing them in.
Thomas on Akingbola lost the handle on the reverse, and LaRon Smith is going to pick up his second foul.
Lance Thomas kind of showing off that handle and some agility right there. Played behind a lot of good bigs at Memphis. I love playing his last season at South Alabama. He's showing now as a pro. He's added some things to his game, and what an opportunity for him on this platform to show what he can do.
Robbie, I've just been waiting to tell you this, but he is also a rapper based in North Atlanta, the North, where he's from. His rapper name is El Jiggy.
Does he have an album or mixtapes?
You know, I
haven't dug that deep.
You can go on Instagram and be the judge
Or
of
maybe
that.
it's a hobby. I just, you know.
I don't think it's mixtapes. I don't know. I think he is signed to a label. I'm not going to go as far to say there's an album out.
We'll have to ask him if they win the game.
There are some music videos. How about that? Wendell Green Jr. for 3. Here he is. Thomas jacks one up and knocks it down.
Whatever he's doing musically, basketball-wise, he has come such a long way. Now showing off the range. Lance Thomas has been out here balling.
Jaheim Hudson picked up by Thomas.
Good defense. You force Hudson to that type of shot. More often than not, the defense is going to win that battle.
Pass to Geddes. It was deflected by Thomas. He's doing it all.
I don't know if it was a touch pass or just a deflection, but it ends up working out, and Geddes is the beneficiary. Big fella running the floor, and Lance Thomas finding him.
Let's take a look at this again.
When X-Rated has gotten stops, they've looked to run. Boy, that looks like a controlled tip there. What a pass. C.J. Geddes being rewarded. 7-footer running that floor.
The lead is 4 for X-Rated. Dunbar with a hand in his face. Doesn't matter.
Close count right there. You are right there. He's got the size over Allen, but that's still a tough shot.
Dunbar's got 7. New Williams kick out. Thomas just a little bit off to the left. Wendell Green Jr. was thinking about it. Now he decides to pull the trigger, and he's got 13.
Let the crowd know about it right there. Wendell Green has had it going in the first half. He's got it back going now, but he needs somebody to come alongside him and help.
McConaughey continuing to make things happen defensively for War Ready. He strips Jaden Delaire and stays with X-Rated.
Wendell Green now with 13 points, and look at the space that he's creating with that step-aside 3. Running out there to contest his shot. He is a threat to drive it. He creates so much space with that step back and drills it.
Hagens triggers. Here's New Williams. Knocks it down over Jaheim Hudson.
Hudson's got to know that Williams is coming off that thing to let it fly. You know, you're right there, but you're just a little bit too much space for New Williams. Williams coming off that thing. He is always looking to pull.
Mentioned he started his college career at Auburn 1 season. He finished it at Fresno State. Hudson batted off the rack by Levesque. You can play it off the cylinder in TBT per FIBA rules. New Williams. Oh, it was halfway down.
I love that TBT takes that FIBA rule on. It would. I know why the NBA doesn't do it, because they like scoring, but think about NBA athletes flying in there and making plays on the ball on both the defensive and offensive ends of the ball.
Malik Dunbar with a brick.
Hagens likes this matchup. He's going to go to work here.
Kick out. Williams swings it. Lance Thomas maybe made an extra pass.
Too many.
McConaughey. And it would not drop. Now Allen, a 3-on-2.
Wow. Oh, thanks, Steph Curry. Thanks for us having to see that shot.
McConaughey tries something from outside. He's furious.
There's a real level of frustration. I had to feel good for McConaughey to get that one to go down, but he let out a primal yell as that one went down.
It has not been a game for Travis McConaughey's offense, or either teams for that matter. A defensive struggle, a slugfest, a rock fight. It's TBT 2025. Here's a look at TBT past champions. This is brought to you by AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. We've talked about the Overseas Elite Dynasty that Mark Hughes presided over in part. He's now the head coach of War Ready. Carmen's crew has won it twice as well, an Ohio State alumni team. Boeheim's Army, the Syracuse alumni team, 2021 champions. They're in the field this year as well, and they have a very good team hosting their own regional up in Syracuse.
I feel like Overseas Elite, Boeheim's Army, and Carmen's crew would be considered like the blue bloods of the TBT. Like they have been traditionally, and obviously Overseas Elite had just an incredible run, but the best teams year in and year out. Think about how do you win this event? You have to have really good pro talent, and that's what those teams have had.
Got to hit your shots, too.
Normally those correlate. You have good pro talent. Those guys put the ball in the basket.
Wildens Levesque guarded by LaRon Smith.
Good job by Smith of not giving up an angle.
Jalen Johnson, quick trigger before the shot clock went off. Wendell Green Jr. cut off by Zahir Porter. That's a foul. Low scoring game, just two players in double figures. Wendell Green Jr. is one of them. He's got 13.
Maybe
1/3 of the total.
Maybe that three gets McConaughey going. He missed the dunk. He finally got one to go. You can see the frustration, but they need him to be a factor. With as talented of a player as he is, he's going to have to score.
X-Rated vying for the lead. Late third quarter, Hagans throws it behind Levesque. War-ready ball.
Hagans was looking for Levesque on the roll, and Levesque thought he was shooting it. Just one of those miscommunications that you see in an event like this where guys just haven't had much time playing together.
Green pulls up. Offline, McConaughey battling. Porter on a tightrope, saves it. Hagans works to the wing. Misses the layup from the baseline, and Hudson has it.
Yeah, Hudson really affected that shot. He made Hagans think about it. Out of control drive.
Shocked a travel wasn't called, but X-Rated comes up with it anyway. New Williams slings it to Hagans. A paint touch and a kick out. Porter for three, short. Wendell Green Jr. to the cup.
Wendell Green, I thought he got fouled there. It looked like he got clipped in the head. He's slow to get up.
He's not in the play right now. It's a 5-on-4 for X-Rated.
He took
with a numbers advantage.
Wendell Green might get better here if he gets the ball. It's one of those where the ball can magically make you better. He does look like he's hurt.
It ends in an alley-oop. Travis McConaughey to Malik Dunbar. So a surge for War Ready. They lead by 5. And we'll be back in 30 seconds, final minute of the third quarter. Keeping an eye on Wendell Green Jr. War-ready standout with 15 points. Here's the play where he appeared to get injured. Looks like he's okay, smiling it off, but just a physical finish to this.
On the run out, and really I thought maybe from our angle he did get clipped in the head, but it looks like it's more so the fall. He was grabbing at his shoulder when he went to the bench. I do think, though, Chris, that if he had gotten the ball on that fast break, that thing would have been the magic pill, and he would have felt good enough to let it fly. Good to see him smiling on the bench, talking with some of the officials.
Would have been the instant antidote to his ailment.
We've seen it before.
I mean, imagine if you could find a way to bottle that up.
Yeah.
You have a cure for cancer, any other affliction. Williams snakes a pass to Johnson. Bodied by Dunbar. And last touch by Babatunde Akingbola.
Dunbar just not giving up an angle. He's given up some real size there to Jalen Johnson. And X-Rated definitely with the size advantage down here. Your entire goal, if you're guarding a bigger player, is make him score over the top of me and keep him away from the rim. And that's exactly what he did right there.
X-Rated trying to snap a 7-0 run for War Ready. Higgins does just that.
He's been quiet, but you saw him playing in college. Arkansas Little Rock was the catalyst for that team that beat Purdue in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Went for 31, so he's certainly very capable of scoring.
Hit the game-tying three-pointer to force overtime in that game. I wasn't going to bring it up.
I was there. It was quite the performance from Josh Higgins. He was a Purdue killer on that day.
Dunbar.
Not a good shot. Well, never mind. The clock was going off.
There was a
Wasn't
method.
where the third quarter was ending.
A method to the madness. Time's flying. We've reached the end of the third quarter. And X-Rated keeping it close with War Ready 43-40 to score. Fourth quarter around the bend, and that means the Elam Ending looms. Target score, every game ends on a made bucket in the basketball tournament. The fourth quarter around the bend, one of these teams is moving on to the second round in a moment. Sunday on Fox, the IndyCar Series hits the streets of Toronto where the fastest man on earth, Alex Palau, looks to continue his season for the ages. Sunday at noon Eastern, only on Fox. The TBT bracket, this includes both the Lexington and Louisville regions. The Louisville region starts tomorrow. The Tampa pickup, B-ball, and Everline Drive already through to the second round in Lexington. War Ready and X-Rated trying to join them. And La Familia, the Kentucky alumni team, will try and begin another deep run in TBT later tonight on FS1. La Familia went to the semifinal last year in their TBT debut. Lots of blue already inside Memorial Coliseum, and we don't mean the seats. Lance Thomas rocks the rim to start the fourth.
That's how you beat pressure right there, Chris. You got Josh Higgins getting heated up with the basketball right there, and even though the action's on the other side of the floor, he just burns it by his defender and drops it off perfectly.
It's been fun to watch. He's got a dozen. And Wendell Green Jr. turnover.
Boy, he had him, but Higgins last second there switched that and just took it away. A good sequence here for Josh Higgins starting this fourth quarter.
Good defense by Akingbola, but he actually fouled Jalen Johnson.
And that's one again. You have to live with the contest. If Jalen Johnson is going to make a 15-foot fadeaway, you just tip your cap to him. But the worst thing you could do is bail him out and give him 2 shots at the line.
Johnson at the line for 2.
Johnson also played last season in Turkey's top league. Actually played on the same team as Travis McConaughey, who's now his adversary with War Ready. He's also a 3-on-3 guy. Robbie plays in Big 3 with the Houston team, which also features Corey Brewer, who has played in this tournament as well.
Corey Brewer is a legend. 50-point game against the Houston Rockets. It was incredible with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Incredible to watch.
50 points in an NBA game. 50 points in any league, any game.
It.
Yeah. Wow. Jamaru Brown does it.
Basket by Brown.
Jamaru Brown, one of the smaller guys on the floor, but he's going up against New Williams. Dribble drive, that little spin move to create space. And Williams gets caught reaching in, gets a piece of that arm. Jamaru Brown, excuse me. A big-time play, and this War Ready team outside of Wendell Green needs somebody else. Brown that time stepping up.
And Brown gave War Ready a spark in the first half as well. He's got 8 points now. Both teams will junk the offensive film from this game, but there have been 4 ties and 6 lead changes, so it's been close. Nico Gillette wraps it around to Johnson. Less than 10 on the shot clock.
That's illegal.
It sure is. Jalen Johnson, the offensive foul.
Get him just pivoting through, and smart play right there by McConaughey, just running right into his backside, because if you're pivoting, it's going to be a moving screen. There you see it, just wipes him out, gets him with that elbow as well. I love how delusional players are, and we all were. Anyone that ever played, you see the way he was just showing the ref how he did it. It really wasn't close to what he actually did.
Maybe you guys just have bad memories.
That's fair.
Xavier Brewer off the mark, and New Williams nearly reaching the rim to pull in that rebound. He finds Gillette here. He fumbles it away. Brewer hits the deck. Wendell Green picks it up and finds Brown. Brown slips it to Akingbola. Karam's off the backboard.
Some missed opportunities here for War Ready to extend their lead. A bit sloppy and careless with the ball, and some turnovers here really hurting them.
Gillette guarded by Green, who strips him.
That's a rookie going up against a pro, and Wendell Green is just waiting on Gillette to show him that ball.
McConaughey for 3. Too strong. Johnson, the one-armed rebound.
Oh, my goodness.
Fancy footwork. Gillette off the boot of Brewer.
Checking in for an X-Rated is number 55, Jordan Allen. Also for
Baseline inbounds for X-Rated. Trying to win a TBT game in their TBT debut. War Ready trying to advance to the second round for the second straight year.
Also checking in number 10, checking.
If War Ready wins this game and La Familia wins its game later tonight, we would have a nice Kentucky versus Auburn showdown in the second round. Any matchup will be great, but that one would have some interesting storylines.
Think about the games that those two programs have played over the last 4 or 5 years. Certainly as Kentucky has had the end of the Calipari era into the Mark Pope run here, but also just Bruce Pearl making Auburn a beast in the SEC.
Jamaru Brown can't stick it. New Williams with green pastures ahead. Jaheim Hudson tries to close the door on him, and he does just enough for the ball to pop out. Now Brewer with Brown, a pull-up three.
Wow. Just like nobody can score. Just take the layup. It's a 2-on-1 fast break, but nobody wants it.
Williams misses.
I'm telling you, it's Steph Curry's fault. Because he makes shots like that. So then everybody takes them.
But there's only one Steph Curry.
That is correct.
Hudson for three. Rebound kept alive by War Ready. This is Brown topside.
They give them enough opportunities, and their War Ready did their jobs on the offensive glass. It was multiple efforts. You get multiple looks at it. The guy that did it in the first half, in Jamaru Brown, knocks down just an enormous shot.
We're a minute away from the Elam ending. Lance Thomas throws it to Jordan Allen.
There's a lid on there right now for X-Rated.
Thomas fouls Brown.
The foul is on Thomas. That's his first third.
You can kind of sense some frustration here with X-Rated, but with the Elam, you know, you're only down 6, and there's a real factor of game pressure when you get to it. Like, you see teams change the way they're playing all the time once the Elam gets there. They've just got to kind of keep this thing close. Get a stop here. You hope you get a basket. You get that timeout called and start doing your thing in the Elam ending.
6 points down in the Elam ending is nothing.
No.
Under 10 to shoot. Wendell Green.
Wow. What a shot right there. Wendell Green. I mean, Josh Higgins is all over him, and it just didn't matter.
18 for Green. He scored in every quarter. Higgins launches. Thomas puts it back in.
Already was just scrambling there. They're going to take, I would assume, a timeout here to lock in the score, but they just didn't have good rebounding position.
This is where it's nice having Mark Hughes as your head coach. He has been in many of these Elam ending situations as well. And the timeout will trigger the target score. It will be 60 points, 8 points higher than the leading team score, and that is War Ready, the Auburn alumni team. First to 60 wins. Find out who that is when we return.
Hilarious.
Big Blue Nation is already here inside Memorial Coliseum, and maybe we already have some of BBN with us on FS1. La Familia, the Kentucky alumni team, takes the court inside Memorial Coliseum for TBT 2025 next on FS1. They'll take on Stroh's squad, an Ohio-based TBT program in its first year in this tournament. We've reached the Elam Ending portion of this game. First stoppage under 4 minutes in quarter 4. The game clock stops and a target score is set equal to the leading team score +8, and the first team to that target score wins. So this is a TBT original. It's what this tournament has become known for over the years. How would you approach this now if you were on your team?
You can't lose your mind. You know, so often you see guys start trying to be heroes. You take quick shots, you play isolation. You've got to keep doing what got you here. And certainly that's been a lot of Wendell Green, but it's also been a good dose of Jamaru Brown here. We've talked about how War Ready needed a second score, and Brown has been that guy. But you have to keep moving the ball. You can't just be stagnant.
This is Brown up to LaRon Smith.
They're going to call a charge.
Yes, they are on Jamaru Brown.
You got the pressure and the shot clock winding down. Yeah, he's just standing right there outside of that charge arc and gets run over. Nice play by Levesque of just waiting on him.
First to 60 wins. And X-Rated, the team that has the longer road, but if they get the first bucket of Elam Ending, then... And they do, thanks to Lance Thomas.
But a really smart play. I mean, you just said a simple back screen. War Ready wants to switch it, but they're putting Wendell Green down there, the smallest guy on the team, with some of the bigs of X-Rated. Really good execution there out of the timeout.
Jaheim Hudson.
That's a weight-room drive right there. I mean, he knocked Wilden Levesque, who's really strong, back a good 2 or 3 feet. Hudson just put him in the rim.
War Ready needs 6 to win.
Same play.
Levesque is fouled.
That's the same exact action. It was guarded better by War Ready that time. They didn't switch it. They kept Wendell Green on the perimeter. Still hit the roll. And you see him getting over. It's a late contest. You do end up getting a late switch. That play has worked back-to-back times for X-Rated.
Levesque at the line for 2.
You know, if Levesque doesn't get through to the second round this year, he'd be a player that you'd like to see in TBT again. He's looked good.
I think all these bigs for X-Rated have been impressive in playing different roles from what we saw them in college. You could make the argument for Lance Thomas. It's the same exact thing.
Wendell Green got tied up but ran into his teammate LaRon Smith. Dunbar accelerates.
Wow. Boy, Jalen Johnson's right there, but the strength by Dunbar knocks him back, hangs in the air, and finishes over the top.
11 for Dunbar, and War Ready needs 4 to win. Levesque goes to the free throw line again.
X-Rated has found some opportunities with the pick and roll. It's a good action. He slips out right there. They throw it over the top. Late on the help from the weak side, and that's one that I'm sure Wilden Levesque wishes that he could have back, because he easily could have made that for a 3-point play. X-Rated is going to have to get some stops. You know, for so much of this game, we've talked about their defense being very cohesive, but in the Elam Ending, War Ready has kind of gotten whatever they've wanted.
Jordan DeSato looks on as Levesque puts both of these free throws in and is into double figures.
X-Rated was trying to sub Jalen Johnson in, and the rest just didn't see it.
He was standing by the bench, not the scorer's table. Wendell Green wide left, Thomas the rebound. Higgins turns it over. Careless pass, Dunbar. Lost the handle in the lane. It's picked up by Hudson. Green was fouled by Lance Thomas.
Side out, side out, side out.
Checking in for X-Rayted is number 5, Jalen Johnson.
Well, War-Ready only needs 4, but X-Rated continues to hang around. They've gotten some stops.
Let's go, White! Let's go, White!
X-Rated is able to get Jalen Johnson back in the game. Ball in the hands of Green. The straw that stirs the drink for War-Ready. Into the lane. Laurent Smith is blocked by Thomas. Dallaire saves it.
That could be a game-saving block right there by X-Rated. What a pass from Wendell Green, and Lance Thomas just erases that thing from the weak side.
Johnson into the corner. Thomas, air ball. Johnson's got it. He's double-teamed. New Williams, in and out. Glass won by Hudson.
Jaheim Hudson just tapping that to himself, making a play on the defensive boards.
Dunbar fires for 3. And War-Ready is 1 point away.
Big time shot from Malik Dunbar. Only shot 20% from 3 in the UK last season, but he steps into that and at one of the biggest moments in the game raises up and drills it.
Johnson. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Tough shot. New Williams has the offensive rebound. Into Dallaire. Layup good. Dallaire's first field goal of the game.
We have a 30-second timeout. X-Rated.
And a 30-second timeout with War-Ready 1 point away from moving on to the second round. Back in 30 seconds. See this trend across sports, both college and pro. The bracket, TBT started this trend of moving your team's name forward in the bracket. It's become one of the big post-game moments of all TBT games, and we're on the verge of another one. It's kind of an honor to be the guy that your team picks to move your team name forward. But War-Ready needs a bucket in order to make that a reality.
War-Ready needs to put pressure on this X-Rated defense. Get to the rim, whether it's with the dribble drive, whether it's on the roll with the pick and roll, but don't settle for jump shots. Oh boy.
It comes off the backboard for Hudson.
He was open. It's just Brown lost the ball.
X-Rated ball. It stays with X-Rated.
Zip up, zip up. Jaden corner, Jay. Hey, look to punch it into Jaden.
X-Rated has to pitch a shutout the rest of the way. They cannot let War-Ready score in any form.
Yep.
Johnson gets his own miss, finds Dallaire, he puts it home.
What a move, first of all, by Jalen Johnson. It's everything but the finish. The footwork gets him to the rim, and then the extra effort to get that offensive rebound. Here's the pivot. There you get it up there. He knows he didn't get it. Look at that extra effort he gives. And then you hit the cutting Jaden Dallaire right there. And the worst thing War-Ready could do, take a foul and give up a basket.
Dallaire's 1 for 2 at the free throw line in this game. 24-year-old played college ball at Stanford. And don't hold your breath just yet, but
this ball needs to be in the hands of Wendell Green. The game that he's had today, I just think that you bring him into some action. Dribble handoff or pick and roll and let him bring this home for War-Ready.
War-Ready needs 1, X-Rated needs 5 to win. Here he is, Green. The shot fake went up. 9 on the shot clock. Higgins guarding Green. Hudson in the lane, puts it up. It's stuffed home by LaRon Smith. The heart and soul of this war-ready program puts the Auburn alumni team through to the second round.
A fantastic cut right there. Jaheim Hudson, pretty good defense on Wendell Green, but he makes himself available. Defense falls asleep. You get that help coming over. LaRon Smith sends this one home and sends War Ready into the next round.
LaRon Smith was the key cog of putting together the War Ready roster when it originally entered TBT. He's recruited, continues to recruit a lot of the Auburn alumni. Fitting that he's the guy with the game-winning bucket tonight. But that guy right there, Wendell Green Jr., certainly got War Ready to the summit.
18 points for Wendell Green. Certainly Malik Dunbar chipping in with 14. Jamaro Brown with 12. Already faced an X-rated team that was getting stops, playing really hard, and he just kind of gutted this one out. Missing some of their players. No Katie Johnson, a couple of guys. Tim Dowger not here. Mark Hughes got his group together, got them ready, and they move on to the second round.
Let's go back to the game-winning play that culminated in a putback stuff by LaRon Smith.
Well, it was good defense by Higgins. There's the cut by Hudson. Now the help has to come over. LaRon Smith is just waiting on that thing, but the play is really made by Hudson. What a cut and drive. LaRon Smith does the rest.
The crowd cheers as La Familia, the Kentucky alumni team, takes the floor for its warm-up. Of course, LaRon Smith is the guy bestowed with the honor of moving War Ready through to the second round on the big bracket. And War Ready will await the winner of our nightcap in round 1 from Lexington, La Familia versus Stroh's squad. So LaRon Smith finishes with 4 points, but the 2 biggest of the game for War Ready as they win in TBT for the second straight year. They've never made it to the third round, but they are on the cusp of that once again in 2025. Jen Hale is standing by with Wendell Green Jr. and the winners.
I was going to say, Chris, not just Wendell Green, the whole squad's here. This was a family affair for sure. All right, take me through this. For so long, it was hard to get your offense going. It was tough to find a way to crack that X-rated defense. How did you punch through in the Elam Ending? Because you got almost anything you wanted then.